Have you ever wondered how Hannibal's army of elephants crossed the Alps? Well, thanks to a new discovery. We may have just found out how his army supplied itself with food during their impossible march through the mountains, you see. Hannibal's army crossed the Alps into 18 BC during the Second Punic War. The goal was to surprise the Romans by marching around the Apennines and then down Italy's west coast. But there was a problem. See, Hannibal's army consisted of about 37,000 foot soldiers, 10,000 cavalry and 100 elephants that would need a lot of food. But the supplies didn't last long. And what food they did have available to them was mostly foraged or stolen, which meant that they needed to resupply quickly, like really quickly. They were running out of food and time. But before we get to how they solved this problem, now back to the video. So it turns out that the Carthaginians used a combination of pack animals and local guides to get food for their troops while they were in the mountains. You see, when Hannibal's army arrived in the foothills of the Alps, they were met by local guides who helped them navigate the difficult terrain. These guides would have been familiar with the area's geography and would have known where the best foraging grounds were, but that still wouldn't be enough food for the army, especially the elephants. So instead, the Carthaginians used a combination of pack animals, including horses, mules, and donkeys to carry supplies from the local villages to their troops. This is where things get interesting because the Carthaginians didn't just use pack animals for supplies. They also used them to transport weapons and ammunition. This meant that if the foraging wasn't good enough, they could always fall back on their pack animals to get them through the tough times. And tough times they had because the further they went into the mountains, the less food there was. But luckily, they had a guide with them who knew the area and could help them find food and supplies. The guide most likely belonged to one of the local tribes and would have been familiar with the area's geography and would have known where the best foraging grounds were. He may have also known about local shepherds who could provide the army with fresh meat and dairy products. This combination of pack animals and local guides would have allowed Hannibal's army to survive their impossible march through the Alps and lay siege to the city of Rome. What do you think? Leave it in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.